Hello, this is John Stark, the Artistic Director of the Illinois Shakespeare Festival. And today I'm with Corey Allen, who's the director of our production of Macbeth in our 2024 season.
I am currently an assistant professor of acting here at the Department of Theater and Dance at the University of Texas at Austin. So presently, that is my assignment, and that is what's keeping me here in the state of Texas. I am a creative partner with a company called Flux Theater Ensemble, which is based in New York City, but many of our members, thanks to the pandemic, have been cast to the four corners of the country. And so we're kind of all over the place. But Flux Theater Ensemble, yeah, is one of my creative homes based in New York City. Yeah, it is not my first time at the Shakespearean rodeo. My way around a little iambic pentameter. I have been fortunate to work at a number of theaters in the country on Shakespeare's work at the Utah Shakespearean Festival, at the now gone, but rest their soul, the North Carolina Shakespeare Festival. I've worked at the Shakespeare Theater in DC. I was a creative partner for, I think, 5 years at the Great River Shakespeare Festival in Winona, Minnesota. I've also done Shakespeare at the Denver Center and other places as well. Yeah, so yes, a couple of years ago, I directed The African Company Presents Richard III by Carlisle Brown. So it was a combination of Shakespeare and a contemporary telling of one of the first Black theater companies in the United States who were staging Shakespeare in lower Manhattan in New York City in the 1820s.
That's great. Well, you'll be working on Macbeth this year, which I know you've worked as an actor on Macbeth in the past. What drew you, or why did you say yes to directing this piece at Illinois Shakespeare Festival this summer?
Yeah, I've danced with the Scottish play a couple of times from a couple of different perspectives, always as an actor, but working with directors who had very different visions about what the play is about. So when I received the invitation to step into the role of director for this production, I think the first thing I asked myself is, what do I have to contribute to this story in this moment? I am terribly fascinated by the power of ambition, the power of suggestibility. I think that there is something really interesting about the role that the witches play in helping the Macbeths end up where they end up. Some might say their decline or their fall, or maybe their ascension. The language is super exciting. There is this interesting mixture of the natural and the supernatural. It's a very interesting conversation, I think, about ambition and what happens when we allow the idea of something that we're really excited about to corrupt our minds. So I really wanted to dive into that psychological, supernatural, and also very physical storytelling that I think only this play allows you to tap into. So those are some of the things that I was really curious about.
Well, that sort of leads into my next question about this is, what can the audience experience? You've kind of touched on a couple of these things already. What do you think, what can the audience expect when they come this summer to Ewing Theatre to attend Macbeth? As we know, all of you will, right?
They can expect the language to be front and center. I do think that it is beautiful, beautiful language. He finds a way to express some of the darkest desires that human beings have in the most beautiful way possible. So the language will be front and center. I'm a huge fan of very physical theater, and I think that so much of what is happening, these are warriors that we're talking about. This is a country at war. These are big forces fighting for control over territory, land, and also fighting for power and fighting for a position. So it's very, very visceral to me. So we'll have a lot of physicality. There'll be some magic involved, maybe black magic, maybe white magic. We'll figure out what magic it is. Yeah. So some surprises. I think it is a play that people have a lot of expectations about. So I'm interested in delivering on some of those expectations. There's something spooky about the play. but I think there'll be a lot of surprises as well. It is not your grandmother's Scottish play. It is a Scottish for 2024 for the Illinois Shakespeare Festival.
Thank you for joining me today for an interview with Corey Ellen. Join us for the preview of Macbeth on July 12th and for the opening night on July 13th, each production at 7:30 at Ewing Theatre. And I'll see you at the gate.